Okay, the next one that people have a problem with is November. Now, this shouldn't have caused you a problem because you should have followed my video the last time. But either way, we'll go through it because it does seem to be something that's coming up an awful lot. Okay, so you received $840. And that's from a debtor who previously was written off and now wishes to trade again. So if you follow the steps, like if you're finding this difficult, write out a sheet with your steps on it and keep referring back to it. So the first thing is you have to find the full debt. Now if 840 is 70%, you want 100%. So the full debt is 1200. Now again, writing down the steps. Number one, put the debtor back into your books. Now you have these steps, I went through them in the last video as well, okay? So just make sure if you're having a problem with a certain part of a video, have these workings written out for yourselves. So number one, your debtor needs to increase by 1200, and number two, you have a bad debt recovered and that needs to increase by 1200. But again, you're doing tabular, so you know that that is a good thing, it's a gain in your profit and loss. That's step number one. Step number two, you record the payment. So number one, your debtor, and you want to record that you received 840. So therefore you know that your bank goes up 840. Okay, and again, you can combine these two figures in your tabular statements, or if you want to show them separately. Now the next part here, again, this one, they don't have VAT. Remember the last time in 2017, I think they had VAT. So this made it slightly easier. On the same day, goods to the value of 780 were sold. This was a markup and cost of 20%. Okay, so the sales value is 780. And that has been marked up by 20%, so that represents 120%. So the cost for you of these goods, you need to get 100% to get your cost. So 780 is 650, which is equal to 100%. So you are going to make, from this transaction, looking at this, you are making a profit between what it cost you and what you sold the goods for, so you're making a profit of 130. Okay, so how do you record sales? Number one, now there's no VAT, okay, so your sales go up by 780, so that really goes into your profit and loss as a gain. Number two, your debtors go up by 780. And the third part is your closing stock goes down by 650, which is like a loss. So that's a profit and loss. Okay, so it's very simple here. When you're doing this, just make sure that in your profit and loss overall you're making, just have to put in the profit of 130. Okay, so if we were doing these on November, what you're going to have is, now again, remember what I said to you, when you're doing out your tabular statement, you've loads of rows free. Definitely give your bank 3 lines, give your debtors 3 lines, and give your profit and loss 3 lines. So debtor here, I'm showing that I want to add on 1200. I want to take away 840, and then again here I'm saying that he owes me another 780. Okay, so I've done 1, 2, and 3. Okay, there's an awful lot in this one, so be careful you're checking them as you're putting them in. The next one I'm just up here at the top, so I'm going to put in my bank, and I want to say my bank went up 840. Okay, I'm just running out of space, so I'm just going to put the rest of it over here. So I've done my bank. Now, actually I'll put it in here because it won't it'll make it easier for you to see. In your profit and loss, here you're saying that you have a gain of 1200, and here you're saying that you're making from this transaction a profit of 130. So that's 1,330 here. And I'm just going to calculate this and just make sure you're getting the same. So you have 1200 minus 840 plus 780 plus 840. Did I write something? sorry, I left out your closing stock here at the front, at the top as well. Your closing stock under those two places is going down 650. So that's 1330 in both. Sorry, just, and it goes into current assets. Okay. So just be careful. Obviously, there's the common mistake, and I did it just there now. I left out my closing stock. That's why it's good when you check your balances that you know then that you definitely left something out. Okay.